Da 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 da.
Oh, seriously?
I love it, dude. I'm replaying 7 Remake, and I'm on the subway or the train,
Yeah,
and Barrett starts singing it because he gets all pissy, so he like sits on things like humming it. It's fucking hilarious. He talks about doing victory poses later. I'm like, I love this game. They know exactly how to hit me in the emotional, nostalgic feels. You don't understand. You'll never understand. Oh boy. All right. Well, I guess we're getting started. Should we wait till more people enter the chat? Should we just jump right into it? What do you think, Aura and John?
I mean, go ahead, sir.
No, we could wait and either. I mean, however which way.
Barrett is cringe when he sings it too. Yes, he is, and that's the best part. I know it's so true. Oh God, I am loving this game so much, and I not to spoil the ending. Obviously, when they call it a remake, they literally mean they're remaking like the timeline and shit. It is pretty entertaining. I am not going to lie. Okay, guys. So real quick, first things first, we announced it during John's stream, but the channel has officially changed again. This is our time. Yeah, 4th name change. Although this one's very minor. It's no longer Crow of Judgment. Or do you want to tell the chat what the name is now, if they haven't seen it already?
It is Crows of Judgment, as in plural.
As in, there are 2 of us.
That was the lamest, creepiest thing I think we've ever done. And we made Captain Planet like together.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's actually I think this is long overdue. I've wanted to have Aura more incorporated on the channel because Aura does so much of the work on the channel, and I made all these jokes about how Aura is what I used to say, like 10%. 10%, maybe like 11% and 12%.
It was 10 for a reason.
Yeah, but no more blocking, no more cock blocking going on. Aura is officially 50% owner of the channel. He is a Crow officially, and I think he's going to produce a new avatar to use, and you will see that the Crow motif is full on display.
He has transformed.
I mean,
he has.
Yeah.
Yes. Although I really wish that one of us took the albino crow. That shit looks creepy as fuck.
I saved that one for you.
Ooh, yes. It is creepy. It is legitimately creepy. The fucking albino crow. It looks like a badass motherfucker. It looks like an evil dove. It's all right. So what are we doing tonight?
We're introducing Toy Bounty Hunters first.
Oh wait, because he's here.
Yeah, and he's also putting a bunch of sources to the links in the private chat right now.
I know. I'm about to announce what we're talking about, and the first thing was going to be that we had people coming over from Toy Bounty Hunters stream.
Mm-hmm.
So, Toy Bounty Hunters is our special guest because we were his special guests, and we do that. We're all buddies. We're all bros. We're all friends. Toy Bounty Hunters, please introduce yourself.
What's going on, everyone? I'm John from Toy Bounty Hunters. Check out my channel, of course, Toy Bounty Hunters. I do, for those of you that don't know the content I do, it's mostly, it's pretty much a little bit of everything. A little bit of gaming, a little bit of tokusatsu, a little bit of comic book stuff, just whatever I feel like talking about, really. So as of late, I've been doing a bit more of streaming where I talk about some of the crazy stuff that's going out there, whether it be in the sphere of YouTube or just out there in general that's kind of geek related, I guess, news. So that's pretty much it. Check it out if it's stuff you're into. I try to have some interesting conversations if I can, and just kind of dive into some of these interesting little controversies and some that are non-controversies. So.
Well, actually, if you really want a fun time, you need to check out John's Japan trip. Those vids are fun.
Good
What?
times. It was good
I
times.
know.
Good times.
It was. I felt like I was there with you. Okay, guys. So today, what we are talking about, we had some people come over from John's stream. We were talking about The Last of Us 2 there, so we're going to actually touch up on that one really quick. Not so much the Anita Sarkeesian thing, because I will immediately start going off, and it's mostly about the spoilers that I wanted to focus on here. We're going to talk about this whole situation with Darkside Phil. He had a little interaction, a little spat with Nick Ricade on Twitter. And for those of you who are unaware, it's over this dude spending like 40 G's on WWE mobile game. And why that's funny, and why it's also sad, and why that also makes it a little bit funnier. And then finally, we're talking about what I really am excited to talk about, aliens. And real life aliens, real UFOs. Yes.
You gotta put up the hands like George, what is it, Socralos or something, whatever his name is, the aliens guy.
Oh yeah, shit. How does he do that? Hold on.
He just puts his hands. It's just aliens.
Was it Zoltar? Is that the shit? Zoltar?
Not saying it's aliens, but
no, but this one. I mean, Okay, so I'll just say why I want to talk about it. I have this. I do believe in aliens. I mean, I'm not going to deny it.
Oh shit! I'm getting out of here.
And it depends on, like, I don't. Me and John talked about this before we were streaming and all. When I say I believe in aliens, I don't believe that there are little green men out there. John doesn't believe that either. I don't think, right? Maybe.
I believe in the possibility of little green men, but I don't necessarily believe in little green men. So, but I believe in the possibility of there being other alien lives like that. So,
yeah. So my thing is, I think that if they do exist, technology-wise, they're merciful fucking gods to us. But no, really. I think that nowadays you have so many people who have the ability to take out their phones, record anything that they see, and post that shit. So there are less things that can remain hidden.
Comic Crow.
What?
Your mother's in the chat.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Hi, Mom. We're talking aliens. Yeah. Okay, actually, first, we're talking Last of Us 2 spoilers. So, for those of you who are unaware, Sakura is here. So Sakura is aware. Yeah, The Last of Us 2, the entire game was leaked. And I actually, you know what? I still have it up, the image of who leaked it. And I think it's pretty funny. I do. Oh my gosh, these memes are terrible. I got to show you guys this one. Hold on. Oh, you're gonna think I'm a terrible individual, and I am kind of. Let's see here. There you go.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, so The Last of Us 2 has officially leaked. Everything about the game is known to everybody. If you don't want to hear any of those spoilers, please, stay tuned. Maybe just mute me for like 2 minutes. But they're basically going to be killing off Joel, who is very loved, very much beloved. They're going to kill him off pretty brutally. There's going to be a new character. You can see her on the screen right here. This is our new this is the new protagonist. The game is going to start off. You play the first half as Ellie, and the other character who takes over the second half of the game is going to be called Abby. Abby goes out for revenge against Joel because Joel killed her dad in the first game. She's has no involvement in the first game. She's never mentioned in the first game. She's basically a brand new OC fanfic type character, and she shows up. And she, within the first few hours, beats the living hell out of Joel with a pipe and murders him. Then halfway through the second part of the game, after she tries to kill Ellie and fails, you will then play as Abby, who, as you can see, is on the screen right here. This is Abby. And and then you will finish the game by killing Ellie. So you'll basically kill the two beloved protagonists of the first game to take over this individual here, as you can see on my screen right here. This is Abby. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Well, fuck, it really is real. I'm so disappointed. Hi, Smiles to Cat. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to ruin your night. Yes.
I feel like we should have had a big spoiler in the title. You don't think?
Fuck that.
Okay.
Look, man. I said it during John's stream. It sucks that the entire game has been leaked and spoiled. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm sitting there going like, you are legitimately putting out trash for people. You really are. You know, I'm not a fan of shock value kills, right? You know, how do I put it? Death of Superman has popularized that shit to no end, right? You just kill off the big main characters that everybody loves, just brutally murder them, and actually, you know, because comic books, I love comic books. Death of Superman is a trash comic. It really is. I mean, yeah, there's some cool fight scenes with Doomsday, but Doomsday has legitimately like no backstory when he's introduced. He's just a fucking brute, comes down to Earth, and gets into a knockout, drag down fight with Superman, in which Superman, you know, dies, right? And that comic sold like fucking gangbusters because of, you know, the death of Superman. And now you see comic books just carry that shit on. You know, they kill fucking Iron Man, they kill Captain America, they kill fucking they kill Bucky Barnes like several times. And they bring them back because they realize they want those main characters. No spoiler alerts ever, thanks, Crow. Kayla, you were part of John's stream. Don't give me shit. But look, I'm not a fan of killing off your protagonist because you want to build in shock value, right? Yeah. There are times when, and again, I love Final Fantasy. I was so clear about that. Obviously, the death of Aerith is a shocker, right? But they're not killing her to shock you, and they're doing it to send a message about life and death, right? And that death comes suddenly, and that, you know, during the gameplay, they make you use Aerith. They make you use Aerith by making her the most phenomenal healer out of every character that you can play as, right?
They make her an essential character for you to take on most of those first couple of missions because of her healing abilities.
Yeah, she's the best healer.
Well, she's really she's the best support character because of her healing. And then, you know, the whole thing that they do with her death is, you know, it's used for a purpose, obviously, to drive, you know, to carry the story along also. But in the fact that you don't get her back, obviously, is something, you know, is bold to do in gaming at the time. You know, at the time, that's not something that was really all that commonplace, was to have, you know, characters die that you weren't going to get back. Although it's not. Well, I would say in terms
Kyle, show respect.
In terms of American gaming, because in Japanese gaming that's not that uncommon. Because if you go to games like, say, for example, a good example of that is a game called that was never released over here, by the way, called and I'm sorry to kind of go off on this, but just
you're good. I went off on tangents your entire stream.
But there's a game called it's called Sweet Home. I'm sure maybe some of you in the chat have heard about it. Sweet Home, which was kind of the precursor or the predecessor to Resident Evil. In that game, which you know, takes place in a haunted mansion, all that. When you have characters in your party, and if any of those characters die, they're dead. They don't come back, and it's an RPG styled game. You know what I mean? But if they die, that's it. They're dead. You don't get them back. They're permadeath.
It's like Fire Emblem.
Yeah, permadeath.
Yeah.
You're done. You know.
I mean, yeah, they use that tool. In fact, even in Final Fantasy VI, I mean, main characters party characters, they die in that game too. And I think Final Fantasy VI actually made it so like every character was kind of a main character. So,
well, you can bring them back. You can bring them back in 6. The only other Final Fantasy game I remember that had permadeath characters in it, I think Final Fantasy VII was the first one in the main Final Fantasy series where a character perma died. You know what I'm saying? The only other one outside of that one that I remember on that time frame that did that was Final Fantasy Tactics. Because if a character of yours gets a counter that reaches all the way, they have a counter, and if it reaches 0 and you don't revive them, they're dead. You don't get them back. They're gone for good. They're gone forever.
But so my thing with Aerith's death in that game, it's not about the shock value. It's not about killing her off and then letting you bring her back later. It's about, they make her so essential to your party. They make her essential to you as the player. She's fun, and she really is. In the original games, like I was saying, like Don Cordeo. I'm trying to remember that fucker's name from Wall Market. She threatens to rip his dick off. It's she isn't like this angelic spiritual person. She's fun. She really is, and they really do a good job displaying that in the remake as well. But the point is, yeah, you want to save her. You do, and I think Kyle Jordan Gaming said it, although he didn't say it nice. He didn't say it nicely. You spend hours leveling her because she's so essential, and then all of a sudden, boom. And you think as you cannot revive her, you're sitting there going, I wish I had done this differently. I wish I could go back. Even just from a gameplay standpoint, you want to go back and do things differently than you did them. And it does a great job in displaying that. This though, it's killing off the two characters from that original game in a bloody, violent way that's not heroic at all. And you're doing it to basically set up a character that nobody has any attachment to, has no actual relevance in the first game. And yeah, they try to tie it in by saying, oh, well, she's the daughter of some rando that fucking Joel kills. And she has a reason for being an angry bitch, but I mean, no, like you created her. You created her well after deciding to do a sequel. And like I said, my fiance plays rugby. I got no problem with girls that got some muscle to them. I really don't. But you can tell the whole point is to introduce this strong female protagonist that is supposedly like fucking breaking all the gender norms because she's an angry female, and I'm like, well, she just sounds like she's on a period. But ignore that. But I can't stand that they're going to take out both Joel. They're going to take out Ellie. They're going to do it in this violent, nasty way, and they're going to make you be the one who kills Ellie. Because they're going to give Abby, you're going to be playing as her for the second half of the game. And I'm going like, how do you not understand that breaks things? And I said it already. I'm okay if they want to kill Joel off because you can tell that he's getting older, that he's passed on what he needs to pass on to Ellie, and Ellie can grow stronger from that. But then you're going to fucking end the game by killing Ellie? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's where my head's at with this whole shit.
And that's the thing. The thing that they don't seem... It's like they don't learn from the mistakes of the past with other games. And I mentioned this before my stream, and I know this is going to be like the third time I've mentioned this, but just for people that weren't on that stream. When... And maybe, Aura, maybe you remember this if you played Metal Gear Solid 2 back in the day. When Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, okay, sold well. The game did great, did great numbers and all that. But when people got it, because it wasn't like it is now. You know how much easily it is to get information in the sake of in the situation with Last of Us 2. Obviously, it's the whole game leak. This wasn't something that was really possible, or I should say, it wasn't as accessible as it was back then for something like this to happen with a PlayStation 2 game in the early 2000s. But when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, and people, they bought it, they played it, and a lot of people were pissed after the fact, after they bought it. It was still a good game, and most people still consider it a good game, but they were pissed at the fact that a good majority of the game, the second act of the game, which you play for much longer than the first act, you had to play as Raiden. You know what I mean? And it came out of nowhere, and people were like, okay, I guess we'll play as this guy for a little bit. Then you play through, and then you play all the way through the end of the game. You're getting close to the end of the game. You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to finish the game as this guy. I want to play as Snake. I'm done. I don't want to play as this cartwheeling, pretty boy. I want to play as Snake. You know what I mean? Snake is the main character of the game. A lot of people were upset. They were really upset over that, over the fact that you had to play as Raiden. And the intent with Raiden, obviously, was he was going to be the character that you were probably going to play as from that point on. And that's what people were feeling. It's like, okay, whoa, hold on. You guys just introduced this guy in this game. You know what I mean? I want Snake. I don't want this guy. You know what I mean? So people were very hands-off, to Raiden as character. Over time, of course, people accepted Raiden as a character, but not initially. There was a lot of people that were pissed off over the fact that Raiden had such a big spotlight in the game. And imagine, this isn't an instant where Snake is not dead. You know what I mean? They give you that impression at first, oh, Snake must have died. But then you see him return as Snake Plissken, and you're, oh, okay, Snake's still alive. Cool. Okay, maybe I'll assume control of him later on in the game, but that never happens. And people were upset. And that's an instance where the main character of the series wasn't killed, but there was an obvious plan to replace him with this other guy, and people didn't take to that. You know what I mean? Like I said, eventually they accepted him as a character, but you notice that there was never, outside of Metal Gear, what was it called? Metal Gear Revenants, which was Raiden's own game. In the main Metal Gear series, outside of maybe short instances, I think what was it, in part 4, there's a short little bit where you play as Raiden, but outside of that, you played as Snake in the rest of those games. So that's something that people are, when it comes to games, don't mess with their games. What they already know, what's already something that is, the norm for them, don't just abruptly change it because they don't react well to it. And if you're going to change it from one character to another, why does it work with the Castlevania games? Because it's not, in the case of Castlevania, right, back in the day with, you start off playing as Simon, as Simon. You start off as Simon, actually. Trevor, he predates Simon, but you don't play as him until the third game. But you could get away with stuff like that back in those days because these were 8-bit games. And really, on the surface, looking at it, you can't really tell the difference. And it worked for Castlevania because it wasn't, from one game to the next that they changed. It's 2 games in, and part 2 wasn't really all that well received. So they got to hit kind of the reset button with the Castlevania series and be like, okay, new game. This one will be a prequel, and we'll do with a new character. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. He's a family member. You know what I mean? So it won't be too different, the transition. And people were okay with that. You know what I mean? Because it was essentially, it's still the game you had played before, new character and new characters introduced, but a story that ties still everything together, right? With the case of Last of Us, they could have just done, the passing of the torch. We got Joel. You play as Joel through the first game. Now you got Ellie in the second game. You know what I mean? But you've already established Ellie from the first game, and you've already established that world. So that would have been an easy transition for people that really, I can't speak for you, Crow, but I'm pretty sure that you would have been okay with playing as Ellie throughout the beginning of this next game, right?
Oh, I mean, look, I expected when I saw an older Ellie that you were going to be playing as Ellie, and I have no issues with playing as Ellie. I figured that's where we were going. I didn't assume that they were going to make me play as a random fucking OC fanfic character with no relations to this first game other than the one they tried to fucking shoehorn in. and make us go beat the living crap out of Ellie. I don't want to fucking do that. Like, yeah, it's like you said with the Metal Gear Solid situation, right? Imagine you introduce Raiden, right? But Raiden comes in, starts off by murdering somebody from the first Metal Gear Solid that everybody fucking loves, and then halfway through the game, then you take control of fucking Raiden, and you finish it off by beating the living crap out of Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, there's a reason why you don't do that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Look, if they wanted to bring this Abby person in, and they thought that she was such a great character that she was going to do great for everybody, go for it. I think that she can be a strong antagonist. I think that she really can, right? And I think that if you want to turn her into kind of like a protagonist, you need to do that in the third game. I think that you can tell that story, and you can tell it very wisely. But you're murdering Ellie, who is supposed to be a very special and unique individual in this tainted fucking world, and you're replacing her with some roided out chick that's just fucking angry. And she's gonna go on a journey of self-realization where she eventually realizes she's the fucking dude. I don't want to fucking do it. I don't.
It kind of craps on the story for the first one though too, if you think about it, because it's, you know,
What do you think?
What does Joel do? I mean, you know, at the end of the game, you know, it's he basically puts it all on the line to save Ellie. You know what I mean? So it's it's really dumb, and it's just kind of out of left field, and it's not going to work. People they're not going to. I mean, some people there might be some people that gather, you know, around the new character that might be like, okay, but it's gonna be a very small group of people. It like I said, I compared to
it's gonna be Anita in the fucking Simp Brigade.
I mean, I compare it, like I said, to the Metal Gear Solid situation, because I do remember there was some people that did like, oh, I like Raiden, you know what I mean? You know, and I liked him as a character too, and by the end I accepted him as a character of the game, but I still wanted to play as Snake, you know what I mean? I wanted Solid Snake. I was just like, you know, I wanted I shouldn't say I wanted Solid Snake. That sounds horrible. But you know, I wanted to play as a character.
And I say you run with
it,
buddy.
I wanted to play as the character though. You know what I'm saying? I wanted, you know, I felt like even though I knew what they were doing and a lot of his story had already been told because of the previous games prior to the Metal Gear Solid games, you know, obviously those were games that were not released here in America, except for, you know, the first one that was ported over to the Nintendo. But, you know, Metal Gear 2 was never released over here, you know what I mean? So there's that gap. You know, there's not the same history of those games here as there is in Japan. So, you know, you want to continue, you know, you feel that you haven't experienced enough with Snake just yet. You know, there's more story to be told here that you want to experience with this character. You're not ready to let go of him just yet. So that's what a lot of people's problem was with Raiden, as you know, having to forcefully kind of play as him throughout the second act of that game and majority of the game, really. And why people were really just kind of upset. You know, they're just like, oh man, this is bull crap. You know, Solid Snake, man. We want to play a Snake. You know, not this new guy.
I mean, and I get that, right? Or I remember when Halo, was it Halo 5? Right? Mm-hmm. They introduced that new guy, and everybody wanted to play as Sergeant, right? And instead, you got to play as this new dude, and the whole battle between them that they set up is just crap, right? But at least you don't fucking murder Sergeant brutally and fucking take a fucking shit all over Cortana. Like, there's a limit, right? And I get that they want to they want to subvert expectations, but this is not how you do it. You know, this is not how you do it. And the thing is, I expected in this game, because everything is set up from that first game, right? Because Joel's story, I think, is complete after the first game. So if you're going to tell a sequel, it makes sense that Ellie is the person that takes over, takes the torch. And if you want to murder Joel, I mean, at least make his death mean something, right? It means nothing now. The entire first part of the game, it's like you said, it means absolutely nothing, because Ellie is going to die. I mean, what's the point of playing this fucking game? So that we can play as the person that murdered the character that meant the most to everybody? What the fuck were you thinking?
It's a bad decision, and again, and we talked about it earlier. I mean, maybe it might have worked if they had released some DLC for the first game where you get to play as this new character to kind of, like I said, to kind of supplant her in the consciousness of the Last of Us fans. You know what I mean? That they already, when they released that trailer with Abby in it, that people could say, "Oh, I remember her. That was the girl that you got to see." She had this situation happen to her, and maybe that would have been something that you could have done with the first game, right? The whole backstory.
But she was
her
never planned for this game. She was never planned as part of this universe. She is completely fucking random. She is a focus group tested reject subject that they got fucking information from Feminist Frequency. I'm not going to go into the fucking Anita Sarkeesian bullshit because that's how you come up with jackass decisions like this. But she is not she's not in any way, shape, or form a part of this universe. And they want to fucking force her in now and kill off who they've had before, because in their very fucking warped minds, they believe that she's going to tell a better story than they already had. I'm not. No. You don't like the fact that Joel and Ellie are the characters that you have, then don't make another fucking game. Go make a different fucking game and make Abby the star fucking character and watch that shit flop all over the fucking floor like a dead fish. I cannot stand that they took a game like The Last of Us, and this is where they decide to go with it.
Well, that's why people are going to be resistant to it too. Like I said, it legit happened with Metal Gear Solid. People were just like, okay, even though, don't get me wrong, Raiden's backstory is an interesting story, but it's just like, okay, I didn't ask for this. I'm like, okay, I get it. You're getting me caught up to speed on this guy and why I should get behind him as a hero and all that, but I don't care. I still, there's still more story that I feel you haven't told me, or more resolution to stories that I want to see with Solid Snake that I still don't know yet. Or that I still want to see. I'm not ready to let go of these characters, and they're gonna receive, they're gonna receive backlash for it. I mean, they already are, obviously, but the thing is, at least with Metal Gear Solid, though, you got to play a Snake. You know what I mean? You got to play a Solid Snake, and at least, like I said, he didn't die. There's a moment where they kind of try to make you think that he passed, and then you see him reappear, and it's just like, oh no, he's fine.
I'm okay with Joel dying. I don't like it, obviously. I love Joel. I'm okay with him dying if his death means something.
Yeah.
But your decision here is undoing everything from the first game.
Yeah.
It's undoing any meaning his death would have because you're deciding to kill off Ellie, which makes no fucking sense in this universe. It doesn't. And to give us a character that nobody knows, nobody cares about, because you think that she's the ideal representation of a strong female protagonist, fuck off. Now, I heard you say that they are planning on going out and they're going to hold back the release of the game.
I had heard that they're delaying it a little bit, that they're pushing it back a little bit, but I don't think by much. I think it's only it might be like by a month or maybe like by a couple weeks. But no matter no matter what they delay it, it's not going to be.
I was like, maybe they're smart enough with all this backlash that they're going to delay it, and
it's not going to be enough time
to
change anything significant in the story. There's no way that they're going to have enough time to do anything like that. What's already been put out there, that's stuff that they can't change. They might tweak some things to change certain story elements a little bit, but not overall. There's just no way that they can. Unless they decide to scrap the game altogether and just start from scratch, which I mean, that's always a possibility, but highly unlikely.
Oh, I love what
It's
Kayla
highly
said.
unlikely they're
Hold
going
on.
to do that.
It's the trope of killing a LGBTQ plus character again. Kinda. Yeah, kinda. Right?
And aren't
Oh,
these the kind of
man.
people that make these games? Aren't these the kind of people that are really against that?
Yeah, I mean, the kind of people that make these games are just fucking idiots sometimes. Like, there's nothing you can do about this shit. Man, look, here's the thing. I think it's okay for them because Abby is going to come out as transgender. I mean, you know, I get that you want to insert random OC fanfic, strong female woman character into this game. I understand that because you're bankrupt on fucking ideas and you want to promote fucking wokeness instead of a good fucking story. But there are smart ways of doing this. If they want to delay this game like a couple months or however long it takes to undo that final death scene so that you can bring Ellie back in the third game, I'm not playing. I'm not going to play this fucking game. I'm just not going to do it. I don't want to fucking take a character take two characters that I grow to love in the first game and then have me play the second half of the second game as their murderer, right? And then you want me to play the third game where I go on a journey of self-discovery and I realize what a horrible person I am, but I'm going to break this. Fuck you. Like, seriously, fuck you. Go tell a different fucking story with this Abby bitch and then maybe I'll be interested in it. But I'm not interested in playing as the murderer of the protagonist of the first game. I'm just not going to do it.
Well, again, it's just, you know, it's doing stuff that is, man, it's a really bad decision. And again, they think that they're being bold with the choice, you know, to shock you so much. Like, oh, this is so compelling. I want to know more of what happens. No, that doesn't.
I don't.
That can work sometimes, but I don't think it's not gonna work for. It's not the same with the gaming experience because you want to go on this journey with the character that you've already invested so much time and emotion into. So you're taking the rug out from under people, and they don't appreciate that. You know what I mean? When it comes to these types of instances, I mean, sometimes they don't even appreciate it in other forms of media like movies and comic books, but especially not in games. At least in my opinion, from what I've seen with these bigger video games, or the ones that are expected to be these grand releases, these huge AAA title releases that are supposed to be like, this is revolutionary stuff. This is a highly anticipated game that you've been waiting for, and now, you're gonna get to see, what we've been working on for these last couple of years, and you're gonna be so impressed. And it's just like, no.
I mean, it's like if you took out fucking Final Fantasy VII Remake and you said, okay, we're going to shock everybody and blow their expectations away by having Sephiroth show up in the first couple hours of the game, brutally murder Tifa, and then turn around and halfway through, you get to play as Sephiroth where you get to behead fucking Cloud. And then in the next game, you can continue on Sephiroth's journey where he learns how to be a better human being. Like, I'm not fucking. Well, that's the thing,
and people aren't going to care about that because they're going to hate her already so much for doing that stuff that they're not going to want. They're not going to want to empathize with a character like Abby, because they're going to be too angry at that character. It's just like, why do I want to play as this person? It's just like, no, I don't want to understand you. I don't want to understand your plight, and get behind any of you. Screw you. I mean, that's going to be people's reaction. And
well, yeah, it's like my daddy died, so I killed somebody else's daddy, and then I killed their daughter. But I'm the victim.
Yeah, and that's a good point. What Dave Marks is saying right there in the comment you posted. Yeah, exactly, because that's what you're doing in the first game. You're literally taking up the role of becoming a surrogate father to this child that has nobody else, and you're in this position where you've been through that loss of the child. And now you take on this paternal role with this character, which initially you don't have any interest in, right? In doing that, because Joel initially, if you remember, he's like, she's just a package that I have to deliver. I don't want to have anything else to do than that. She's a package that I got to deliver from point A to point B. But, over the course of, getting to know this little girl more, and because of his own loss in the past, he starts to develop these feelings of these fatherly feelings to this girl. It's like, I got to protect this little girl. And you see that happening with him throughout the course of the game. And you of course you sympathize and you empathize with that. And that's basically the story of the overall story. There's more stuff going on obviously in The Last of Us, but that's one of the key things going on in The Last of Us. And they're completely, making that all be in vain with the second game. They're completely throwing that all away.
Aura, because we need to move on to the next topic because we won't go much longer on The Last of Us 2 spoilers again.
I actually have to tag out, but I will tag back in.
All right.
So, I will be back here shortly.
Adios.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit.
What's that? There you go.
Don't do the face piece thing. We're saving that one.
Too late.
Only if you wiggle your toes.
No, it's too late. It's done.
Okay. Yes, Kyle Jordan Gaming. It is very istophobic to murder the young lesbian girl. It is very istophobic. But is it because she could be a TERF, a trans exclusionary radical feminist? In which case, if a trans person murders her, then I believe by LGBTQIA plus hierarchy and progressivism, that is an acceptable loss. Gosh. Okay, Aura, we need to move on to the next topic, but I want your final opinions on this entire mess.
Bro, fuck Last of Us 2. They made their decision. They took after Game of Thrones. It's what it is, Good thing they spoiled it, so now I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, I fucking canceled my pre-order when I saw that shit. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit, man.
Yeah,
I ain't.
They could tell their shit story. That's fine. Somebody out there will buy it. It's just not going to be me, and that's all there is to it.
Okay, as Soge01 questioned here. Yes, DSP is the next topic. Aura, take it over, please.
I don't need to. John put the things on the links right there. They're right there.
He did, but I can't access Twitter from my laptop.
And
plus, you're the one who actually brought this one up to me, so I figured.
Oh well, let me get these links. They're not the same, so don't worry about it. What else are we doing besides? Are we doing aliens for real?
We're doing aliens for real because aliens are real, for real.
Damn it, John.
Pentagon released it.
Damn it, John. Damn it. That's okay. I'm gonna get rid of this one.
So just for backstory before we bring up this little Twitter spat between him and Nick Rekieta. DSP basically had to file for bankruptcy. And in the bankruptcy, he did not reveal that he had basically spent $40,000 on a WWE mobile game. And it's sad. It's sad. First off, he probably has an addiction. He probably has quite a bit of money to blow $40,000 fucking dollars on a fucking mobile game. But it's also sad because Oris showed me this quote from somebody, and I don't know who the individual was, but they basically pointed out that DSP is a major WWE fan, and it's something that he decided to never really talk about on his channel. It's something that he didn't want to make his work. It's something that it meant so much to him that he wanted to keep that for himself. And maybe that's where burying fucking 40 grand into the mobile game was justified for him, because it was legitimately a passion of his. But because he allegedly, I don't even know if you can say allegedly, because we've seen the fucking court docs, right?
I got some of the court hearing right here.
Yeah. Okay.
I have it ready. You want to play that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Let me do the thing.
Oh, wait, hold on. J-Man's asking which WWE mobile game.
Champions. WWE Champions. Yes.
The most expensive one.
Nah, it doesn't. You don't have to spend. Share.
Well, now you know why he went bankrupt.
You ready?
Yeah, hold on. There we go.
Let me know.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. What the hell?
What?
Bug.
Okay.
There was no way to get out of it.
If there's visitors on the line who have unmuted their phone, please mute until you're ready to speak.
This is when the creditor calls in, by the way.
Go ahead, Mr. Allen.
Nah, DSP, buddy.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? You cut out. Yes, for a few more months. And as my bankruptcy attorney just stated, we filed in October. And so...
No, we met in October.
Oh, no, that's right. When when did we file?
About January.
In January. We met in October. And upon the initial discussion with my bankruptcy attorney, I was told at that point, completely discontinue use of all, lines of credit. And I did. But I would say probably up until that discussion with my bankruptcy attorney in October of 2019, I was still, actively using lines of credit and making payments towards the credit.
Okay. And do you still have any purchases from those lines of credit in your possession, or did you sell them, or where's that property now?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? You cut out yet again.
Sure. The purchase that you made with your credit lines following your realization that you were insolvent, do you still have those purchases?
It's cutting out, but keep going. The purchases that were made with the credit line.
Yes, the purchases that he made with the credit line after realizing he was insolvent, does he still have that property in his possession?
Most of the purchases I would have made with any kind of lines of credit would have been things such as groceries, that kind of stuff.
WWE
Not
champions.
like I was buying anything significant,
Say it.
personal property or anything like that.
Say it.
Have specific questions about
Say it's on my phone and it's pixels.
behind the scenes about that. I don't know.
Crow, you're
specifically
such a
what
dick.
you're referencing.
Guys, it's groceries. I ate them. I ate the pixels.
Disposable income.
And or necessities like grocery shopping and things like that, to my knowledge.
Okay. And the other question I would have then is if it was business related stuff,
You fucking bitch.
you've got a lot of equipment, PS4s, things like that. You're saying that you own these prior to realizing that you were insolvent, correct?
When you think about that, I would say yes. That's correct.
Okay. And other business expenses like purchasing games for your streaming content company, you purchase these games also with. Let me just reword that. Have you purchased any games since October?
Say it.
October, yes.
On credit lines, are you specifically
Right.
referring to? Or
Yes,
just
on credit lines.
Say it.
Where insolvency was realized. Come to an understanding that any
No, watch, the creditor's gonna like start chewing him out.
Yeah, no, I did not make any purchases on credit after my initial conversation with my bankruptcy attorney in October.
Okay, and
Or anything.
sure. Another thing too. So you made all these purchases for these equipment systems. I'm assuming that's the bulk of your business expenses, as far as having to buy the equipment, having to buy the games, things like that. Reviewing your filing, it looks like you stated here that you have about $5,000 a month in business expenses. Can you itemize that for me?
Hold on. Legit.
Right.
Itemize it. Come on, DSP.
Now watch this shit. It gets wild.
Wait, pause it real quick. So I think this is the problem with DSP. He's treating this situation like he would his fucking Twitch chat.
That's exactly what he's doing. You're about to see it. You're about to fucking see it.
I just play it. I'm sorry, man. I can't.
Listen to this shit.
Nancy, I'm not sure this person is for Citibank.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I'm not sure. Are you?
I'm calling
you
out.
really-
I'm calling representing Citibank. Yes, Citibank. What are you talking about?
Right. Are you an attorney or what's your position at Citibank? Or this doesn't seem.
This seems like a sort of an attempt to back out of answering the very transparent
What,
question reviewing these files, which is that he has
No, I've
$5,000 a
never
month
had
in business expenses, which does not make any sense.
in collections at Citibank appear on a case, so this seems a little strange. We'll answer the questions, but
Okay,
it just,
great.
Okay,
I mean, we've been answering the questions.
hold on just a second. Where are you seeing $5,000 a month on business expenses?
He's listed over $5,000 a month on expenses, so he's got $5,000 a month in income, $5,000 a month in expenses, and basically the gross income.
Hold on.
thing that he's making-
Pause it real quick. So, who is the woman talking? So, to my understanding, the woman is his attorney in this proceeding. So,
Okay, wait, hold on. So what? I just came back in. Adam, I might have to go again soon. But okay, so just give me a quick summary of what I missed here. What's going on?
Phil went to the bankruptcy court. There is the judge on the line. There's his attorney on the line for the bankruptcy appeal, and there is now a creditor online from Citibank where he owes all this credit debt to.
So okay. So this is a legit call. It's not a guy pretending just
no,
to control.
it's legit. And
Yeah.
the attorney acted like fucking DSP just now and accused the creditor of not actually working for Citibank.
Okay.
We're not working for Citibank. Basically she's acting as mod in his chat. Like she's trying to ban him.
Yeah, Kyle Jordan Gaming says Susie Lou's attorney. No, it's not. I don't think it's Stejo.
No, it's not Stejo, buddy.
Should be.
I don't think it's Stejo. I mean,
I don't even think Stejo is that dumb.
I think this guy. Yeah, this guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about. At least from the little I've heard so far, he seems to sound at least informed about something. But go ahead.
Okay. All right, keep going.
Dollars.
Okay, so
Wait,
you looked
I'm
at
sorry.
INJ.
I'm referring to his initial bankruptcy filing.
Okay.
Yes.
So where are the $5,000 a month in business expenses?
I think
I've already explained.
Let me back
No,
up
you didn't.
because I think you might be looking at it a little bit wrong.
I mean, to be fair, he did
No, he
explain.
isn't.
A little bit
It's
of
this
clarification
video is like
because
40
there's
minutes
way
long. I'm
more
to the part with the creditor.
That might
I
or something, and then you can ask your question again.
Sure.
Schedule J asks him to list out various expenses he has. This is a personal bankruptcy. And so he's listed things like rent and food and utilities and clothing, things like that. As I'm seeing the schedule, that totals up to be about 5,000, a little bit, a little bit more than that. Is that the number that you're referring to as business expenses?
Yes, if that's claimed as personal expenses instead, I would still like to get an idea of how exactly he itemizes that. Because the amount of income that I'm seeing, he's claiming that it varies, but the time that he filed, it just happened to be during a very high spike in.
We're all holding our breaths, Kyle.
Make any sense to me?
Okay, do you have the schedule?
Please, and then me.
Who is
That
this?
was
As long as
Yeah.
we've established that he's realized that he was insolvent in October, that's really all I needed. So it's fine.
I mean, I don't want to cut your questions off. I'm just trying to make sure that you're understanding the forms the way they're intended.
Right, I understand. He's claiming that he's got $5,000 a month in expenses and only $5,000 a month in income, and net's about $35, which still doesn't really make any sense to me. He's claiming he did, $1,000 on YouTube,
Well,
4,000, 5,000 right there. But then he's also claiming that he gets donations or tips or whatever it is through his stream itself, which is separate from the service paying him for streaming.
Okay, I understand your question. Do you have a further explanation, Mr. Burnell?
I've already broken down how my expenses work. I don't know what this gentleman is referencing specifically. All the information is there, so I don't know exactly what he's looking for. I don't understand. I don't understand how.
He wants you to explain how you came up with $5,000, you dumbass.
Which we've done. So why are you asking again?
I do not see anywhere that adds up to $5,000 of expenses monthly, or that warrants paying extra money for video games and things post October when you realize that you were insolvent.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
right, but what you're talking about is strictly related to Citibank purchases. If I'm understanding this correctly, you're wondering if there were any purchases after October on the Citibank cards, but you have access.
I'm
to
asking
those
about
statements.
any cards, any lines of credit. I'm trying to figure out when he realized he was insolvent, if he continued making credit purchases after that time.
And he's already stated that he is not.
Okay, as long as that's on the record, great. Thank you.
Yeah, he dips out. He dips out. Yeah.
Earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. That's his court hearing with that creditor. And guess what? $40,000 in cell phone games, WWE champions.
Now,
Not
my
listed
God.
there as an expense.
So here's the main problem, right? So we're gonna go over the Ricada tweets between him back and forth, but he never at any point talks about WWE on any of his Twitch streams, because to him WWE is like sacred, right? He loves it. It's his one passion. It's the one thing he hasn't fucking tainted. And this dumbass can't not use the excuse that those monies he was paying out were part of his personal expenses, because they're not. They have nothing to do with his channel. They have nothing to do with the work that he does. It's his pure pleasure and enjoyment that he spent $40,000 on.
Yeah.
So like this whole thing is hilarious.
So wait, he spent $40,000 on a mobile app game?
Yes.
Yes. I mean,
Wow.
and he didn't list it as his expenses, like after he was no longer solvent.
So wait,
Yeah.
let me get this straight, because I haven't been following the situation as well. I mean, look, Darkseid Phil's a guy, obviously, you know kind of the legend with him, over the years, and we hear the controversies. This latest one is not one that I've really been following with him. So what you're saying is, all right, so just from the little I've heard you guys talk about it, this guy went 40 grand in the hole over a mobile app game, to the point where he filed bankruptcy over it. Am I getting that right? Is that what's happening here?
I think he declared bankruptcy because of a bunch of very terrible financial decisions, but he was continuing to spend, thousands of dollars on this mobile game, and it totals up to literally 40 fucking grand, which he was continuing to spend after he found out that he was insolvent.
Exactly. Like, he kept spending expenses on video games generally, and the creditor is like, I don't understand where this extra expense money is coming from, because you listed basically his payments from getting paid from YouTube and Twitch alone, but then he's making an extra set of income through, tips and all that, as DSP called them, donations. So he's garnering well more than what he is claiming.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Dude's a mess. Still.
I have this up on the screen already, the Ricada stuff.
Here.
So do I have to reshare?
No. I have it on the screen now.
Okay.
Do you mind reading it out, only because it's kind of small on my side?
Yeah. Hey, DSP, I've heard a lot of things about you, but I've only gotten one perspective, one that I think you may disagree with. I'm extending an open invitation to talk to you, to talk about the truth behind all of this stuff. I'm guessing you have a different perspective on it. So let's click right here. I think it's right here is the next one. I've been legally advised not to speak publicly about the things in my personal life. Content creators, including yourself, have created a fervor of mass misinformation that led to this. If you'd asked me months ago, instead of having your fun, maybe it would have been different. Oops.
Okay. All right.
No, I mean, you're the one who made the oops, DSP.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Nobody saying anything led to him going into financial ruin. That's the decision you make on your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, oh man, there's another rabbit hole. Look at all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, DSP needs to understand the reason why people make fun of DSP is because DSP. It's got nothing to do with anything people have said about him. It's the things that have come out of DSP's fucking mouth.
So basically, you know, Rekieta basically just like offered him and extended like an invite to go do like some interview, clear all this stuff up. DSP's like, go to hell. Like, you should have asked me a long time.
It keeps going though.
Yeah.
Go to hell because of people like you. This is why I'm in this situation.
Rekieta quote tweets him.
Yeah,
so that should be the next. Yeah,
right here.
I think I sent you that.
Yeah, big oofs on my part. They call me the SP. I am more than willing to correct my misinformation generated. But when the only information I have comes from your filings, it's a bit tough. Like I said, open invitation for you to correct or clarify anything. As a quote-unquote lawyer, I'm sure you can understand why I'd listen to the advice of my legal counsel instead of a content creator that has regularly dragged my name through the mud for months. For personal benefit without an ounce of remorse, get your clickbait else. Yeah, okay, I did read it right. Get your clickbait elsewhere and good riddance. Oh my God, it's Yellow Flash.
Wait, what did Yellow Flash say?
Bug Rekieta mechanics, question mark. Oh my God, it's Josh Pescator.
Yeah, Josh Pescator was all over this shit. It is funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing, right? I don't think Nick really talks that much about Phil. Like, he's done some videos laughing about the dude, but it's Phil's decisions that have led to this, right? And the fact of the matter is, Phil had every opportunity to be successful. Instead, he chose to be Phil, right? Yeah. He chose never to move on. He chose never to actually be someone who followed the trends, who was able to grow past. And he made tons of money, and he never invested it. He went ahead and blew through it as quickly as he could. And now you see him at the point where he's had to declare bankruptcy, and he's so addicted to spending fucking cash. He just can't get away from himself. And he wants to sit there and be pissy with fucking Nick or be pissy with anybody else that makes fun of him. Like, he's earned it. He sits there and he begs for fucking money online all the fucking time, right?
And ashamed people for not giving him money.
Oh my God, he's Invader V.
Well, no, yeah, he predates all of them. He was the first one to really get in the limelight. I'm not saying he was the first person to do it because I don't know who exactly, but he was the first person that I can recall got into the limelight for doing that. And then I think everybody remembers also then Wings of Redemption, then whoever else decided to follow suit since then. So yeah, he was the first one I think that became big and was vocal about it. That people got to meme on first.
Yeah, I think there's another one over here. Let me take a quick look.
Which is not. It's not a good thing to be. The first being remembered as the first to do something could be good, depending on if it's something that's good, but not in his case. And the thing is, it came to a point where he became a meme where people would just troll him and.
His issue is that he not only begs for the money, right? Because I get asking for the money and everything. He begs for the money and then does it like he has nothing, like he's broke, like he's destitute, like he can't afford to fucking buy some top fucking ramen. It is how he begs for money from people.
Well, guys like him do that though. It's just like it's the same thing with Wings.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean? They all have the same mindset. They do the same thing.
And in the meantime, he's buying a fucking luxury fucking home, right? While he's begging people for cash. It's a total embarrassment. And the fact that he's sitting there fucking blowing all this money on fucking credit cards and spending money on mobile games, he's used to doing that. He's not used to saving anything. He's not used to investing anything. He's not used to growing past the bloated sack of shit that he is. He's used to begging people for money. Yeah. It's
the Dave Mark said in the chat.
Oh,
I'm out here every day covered in glitter, covered in booty shorts. He was the first. He was the first one out there covered in glitter and booty shorts. You know what I mean? And covered in, his own bodily fluids, allegedly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's man, he's
that image from Nick.
Yeah.
I look. Obviously, I'm going to say this. DSP has a problem with money. He does, and he's had a ton more money than a lot of people. He's made more money in a month that a lot of people make an entire fucking year, right?
Yeah.
But he's a dumbass with it. He really is. He's someone who probably never had money. And once he got it, he didn't know what to do with it other than spend it.
Yeah.
So I get that. I certainly, I don't feel good for the guy, that he has many issues, right? And yeah, it's fun to make fun of him because he does objectively stupid shit. But obviously there's some actual problems with him if he's going to spend 40 fucking grand on a mobile game. And he could have an addiction for all we know. Right? Yeah. So I'm not sitting there like laughing at the fact that he's blown 40 grand. I'm laughing at the fact that this dude at one point could lose 40 grand and not even notice it went missing. Right?
Yeah. Well, think about it. That's not a rational line of thinking. I mean, anybody else, that obviously cares about their finances and is responsible, would never lose $40,000 on a freaking mobile game.
No, I'm not saying it's rational.
That's not an investment.
I'm not saying it's rational. I'm not saying it makes sense. He's clearly has some issue. What I meant by like he could lose 40 grand, not notice it missing. He made 40 grand like, and that would be like $40 to one of us, right? Where if you lost it, yeah, it sucks. But to him, he made so much money at one point that $40,000 was probably not a lot of money to the guy. Like he was originally making tons of fucking cash, right? But look at where he's fallen down to, right? And he gets petty, he gets pissy. Everything in his life is shit. No, I'm being serious. He has more people giving him money on Twitch that hate him versus like him. They give him money so he'll continue to help them make content off of dragging his fat ass all over the floor. And he can't, he cannot play into it. He can't just take the fucking criticism. He cannot just own it. He can't own it. He has to sit there and call them all liars. They're lying about him. Yeah, he's the first fucking e-thought, dude. He totally fucking is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Look, I feel bad for the guy if he legitimately has some sort of addiction problem, because there are people that have those addictions. They do. Like, I got addicted to playing mobile games. I already spent $40,000. But I remember at one point, I can't remember the name of the game. It's really stupid. I don't even think it's around anymore. But I spent something like $100 on it one time. Right?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, and it's not something that is too uncommon, right? You've seen people that have been addicted to, online gambling, and it's not a stretch to think that somebody could get addicted to a mobile game. I mean, there's plenty of people that have gotten addicted to mobile games that they do pay money towards because they just can't help it, right? I mean, I've never heard of anybody paying $40,000 towards a mobile game, but here we go. Here's Phil. Phil once again, being the first at doing something really stupid to the surprise of nobody. It just. I mean, and it makes you. It almost makes you wonder if he is doing it on purpose. Honestly, at this point, if he's, But who knows? I mean, and who knows? Maybe there's somebody else out there that is actually put more towards a mobile game that we just don't know about. But he's a person that it's almost. I hate to say it, but at this point,
he is bankrolling that entire gaming studio right now.
Well, the thing is, look, with a guy like him, you come to expect stuff like this from him almost at this point.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, he did what? But you know what? Now I think about it, yeah, hey, that's Phil. You know what I mean?
No, it is.
So
I mean, it legitimately is. And, you know, I appreciate Kyle Jordan Gaming. On the other hand, you could support Crows of Judgment, the most trusted name in YouTube, for only $1. Look, hey, I'm not trying to, you know, insult somebody who has a literal addiction problem, because
yeah,
I've known people like that have dropped $100 that they did not have on mobile games because they were just that it was in their brain, right?
Well,
They
that's
couldn't
okay
get out of it.
because I'm here to shame everybody. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think the possibility of like DSP's biggest trolls being DSP himself? He's running his trolls accounts to make a fucking profit. Everyone's paying him money because everyone's watching all of his content and shit.
yeah.
Look, dude, the guy is a fucking walking, talking meme. At
He
this
would
point.
be
He
the
really is.
greatest fucking troll of all time.
But my thing with DSP, right? He's a sad fucking person. He is. He was someone who he was at the start of a lot of this shit, like a lot of the content creation around games. He was making a fuck ton of cash, right? And he's burned through all of it. He's declaring bankruptcy. He's clearly got some sort of fucking addiction to mobile games, and he hates himself. And he hates everybody else. And he's got more people that will give him money because they hate him that much. They want to see him continue to humiliate himself. Like, that's a sad fucking existence. It fucking is.
Yeah.
Like,
He's a dancing monkey to people.
He is.
That's what he's become.
Totally
He's become
is.
a dancing monkey to people. That's it.
Oh.
It's whereas before, look, he was I'm sure initially when you look at what he was able to accomplish, yeah, that was probably inspirational. People like, holy crap, look what Phil was able to do, on the gaming scene in terms of streaming, specific, more specific, obviously he'd done content and stuff like that before, but specifically, streaming games is that was his real big, like claim to fame. He basically paved the way for guys like Wings of Redemption and these, ethos that we see now doing the stuff that they're doing, right? He did pave the way for a lot of them, and now it's become a, something that a lot of people, a lot of younger people, especially now are they're vying for. I mean, look, one could make the argument that without Phil's efforts, I mean, we wouldn't have people like, Ninja and others, right? Because he really did make that something. He really showed that that's something. Hey, look, you can, if you stick to it and you keep doing this consistently, you could make a living off of it. And a lot of guys ran with that model, man.
He's a cautionary tale. He is, because he was at one point very successful. Yeah. And now he's a guy who hates himself. He hates his chat. He hates his friends. He doesn't like anything or anybody. And the one joy that he did still have was literally WWE. And you see how that is just blowing up in his fucking face. He's bankrupt. He owes money to creditors now. And all he can do is go onto his Twitch chat where people relentlessly make fun of him. Also, he can beg people to give him money.
He owes money to the IRS as well. He didn't pay.
Yeah.
He's a cautionary tale, man. Like I said, he's become nothing more than a dancing monkey. And what's sad about it is, in his mind, he's probably convinced, well, there's nothing else I can do. What am I gonna do? Go back to doing this, that, or the other. And it's the same with Wings of Redemption now. They're at that point where, they're dancing monkeys. That's it. And it's sad because it's like, how will you ever honestly take true enjoyment in that, knowing that not only do the people that are there to see you not respect you, how can you possibly respect yourself knowing that, that none of these people in your chat right now, they have zero respect for you, and they have zero respect. They really don't have any respect for what you're doing. They just get entertainment out of getting to you. And it's just like, how can you ever truly enjoy doing that? But like I said, he's one of those guys that's at that point where it's just like, he probably sees no other recourse. He's like, well, I got to keep doing it, because if not, then I'm really screwed. And it's just like, you're screwed anyways.
Look, I mean, the thing is, and I don't think he's capable of doing this. I really don't. I don't think he can do this. He needs to look in a mirror and be able to laugh at himself and be able to. No, I'm being serious, right? Like,
Me too.
People talk shit about. Will talk shit about me, right?
I'm one of them.
Yeah, you are. Like, dude, I like my own fucking chat will roast me, right?
Yeah.
I play along with it. I think it's funny. I legitimately think it's funny. Someone did, not gonna name names. Someone did a fucking 3-hour live stream dedicated to hating on me, and I thought it was hilarious. I didn't sit there going to chat. This guy's a liar. He hates me. Hey, they're all liars, and they're spreading misinformation about me. No, I thought it was fucking hilarious, and I told everyone, I was like, dude, you gotta go check this shit out, right? Like, to me, that's when I see someone doing that, I start laughing. I really do. DSP needs to own the shit. He needs to own what he's become, and that's the only way he's going to crawl out of it. Instead, he just digs down deeper every time. Anytime someone criticizes him, he immediately loses it and just starts talking about how they're liars, they spread misinformation, they're just trying to monetize off his fat ass. And the third one's probably true, but you need to stop taking it so personally, because if you want to put yourself out there, if you want to put your name out there, yeah, people are going to make fun of you, no matter how big or how small you are, no matter how, like, Mr. Beast, right? Dude, I think did like some really nice stuff, right? Not a bad person, fucking gets dragged all the time. I go onto Twitter, I see plenty of people who just hate the guy for the sake of hating him.
Ninja.
Ninja. Like,
no, but the ninja sometimes he brings some of that stuff upon himself with some of the stupid stuff he says. But hey, look,
I see it as irrelevant hot takes.
But
Yeah.
but I look, give Ninja his credit. He's for the most part, even though he's been involved in some controversies, he at least has been smart. He's been smart on a business level, at least, and
well,
he's
yeah,
been,
I mean,
managing his money,
making nice decisions, investing, like that's something DSP clearly failed at doing. Like,
well, he never invested in himself. That's one thing that there's the clear delineation between him and Ninja is that Ninja was smart enough to reinvest the money into himself and not, and he capitalized on merchandising and things like that, and just really really he really what's the word I'm looking for? He really he saw the bigger picture, I mean, in terms of what to do, and think about it. He's not making, like, in terms of like his viewership is dropped significantly since he went over to Mixer. But here's the thing, though, they offered him a crazy, ridiculous contract over there. You know what I mean? An exclusive contract just to take that kind of hit, man.
Well, again, my with the Ninja thing, right? When people drag Ninja, and people do, you don't see Ninja running out there immediately with his hands waved in the air, talking about how they're all liars and manipulators, and they're haters, and it's all misinformation, and they just hate him, and if you could just give him a little bit of money because his lights are about to go out, like,
At worst, Ninja might not address something, but that's about it. But even then, it's just like, look, he's had bad takes. Sometimes he's, not nearly as often as he should. He's addressed some of them, but he doesn't get all up in arms about it to the point. I mean, I think probably the thing that probably got to him the most was the whole Ligma thing. But that's about it.
Nah, like I don't know what even Sogeo one is over here. Like, I just highlighted that one. Ninja's more blue hair than man now. Yeah, look, I get it. I make fun of Ninja too, but the whole point is there's a way you behave when you're being criticized and dragged by people, and DSP would do a hell of a lot better for himself if he could just move past it, right? But he's so stuck in it. He is so stuck in it, and then he begs people for money. He's gotta. I don't know, man. I don't, because I really don't like seeing somebody humiliate themselves to that extent for this many years, to the point where they're still bankrupt and begging people for money so he can blow it on fucking mobile games. Like, it's sad. It's sad. It's funny, and that's sad, and it's even funnier. And it's like a train wreck in slow fucking motion. And you kind of want to just go and say, I should look away, but there's clowns in the fucking car, and they're slapping each other as they're running into a fucking train that's also being run by another fucking clown who's sitting there doing a fucking cartwheel while the fucking train is crashing into a fucking car. It's hilariously stupid.
What kind of fan fiction did you just say? Like,
I don't. Dude, it's DSP's life, man.
Fucking hell, like, Jesus Crow. Anyway, it's my job as half owner to let you know we are 1 hour and 20 minutes in, and we've only talked about two fucking things. But
okay, we'll be quick on this one, only because I just want to share this with people. Aliens are in fact real. They're everywhere. They're spying on you. They're spying on me. Where's your tinfoil hat, everyone? Where is it? Where is it?
You didn't put no fucking warning to bring one, because I would have wore one.
Okay, so let's go.
It would have came out all messed up and curved like fucking like a horn. Anyway.
Okay, so here we go. This is from Guardian. Pentagon releases 3 UFO videos taken by U.S. Navy pilots. The previously leaked videos were declassified to clear up any misconceptions on whether they were real. Actually, I remember this. I do. There were these stories that came out where they basically said, like, people in the Navy were running into UFOs, and they were going like, well, we can't just call our pilots crazy because they keep seeing this shit. And we can't really ignore it. And it's fucking Kayla, sorry. But they were like, we can't just keep ignoring it. We can't call our pilots crazy. They're clearly seeing something. They're registering something. And, more to the point, like, we live in the age of technology where everyone's got a fucking smartphone. Everyone has a camera. Everyone can record what they see. You have fucking Google satellites. They can just fucking look at that shit. And it's so easy to share this information with people. What are you going to do? Call every single pilot that sees something unexplained a crazy nut job? Yes. And maybe that worked like 50 years ago, but shit, you can't do that crap today. So the Pentagon finally decided, okay, well, we just got to clear this up. We're going to release it out there. We're going to show people what's going on.
Exposed.
Yeah. Okay, so the grainy videos, which the Pentagon says depict unexplained aerial phenomenon, were previously leaked, with some believing they show alien UFOs. The Pentagon said it released the footage to clear up any misconceptions by the public, whether the footage that has been circulated was real or whether or not there is more to the videos, a statement on the Department of Defense website said. After a thorough review, the department had determined that the authorized release of these unclassified videos does not reveal any sensitive capabilities of systems and does not impugn on any subsequent investigations of military airspace incursions by unidentified aerial phenomena, statement said. So let's see. I think, they have the video here. Oh my gosh. See, this is what happens every time.
I would love it if this is a troll video. Like, you just click on it and like it's one of those things where the face just like rams into the screen and scares the shit out of everybody.
No, it really isn't. Here, I have to open it in incognito window.
Let's do a Scare You Silly stream, and we watch those videos.
What?
Talk about it later.
Okay, so here we go. Let me switch this over, because that's actually go to a fucking incognito tab anytime I want to do this shit now. But what do you guys think, though? Do you think do you think that I'm being a little bit conspiratorial in the fact that aliens exist, or do you think that this shit is legitimately pretty fucking interesting?
Both.
Okay, cool. I'll take that.
Yep.
All right, so here we go. So this is the object that they're talking about.
Is that a GIF?
No, this is legitimately from the Pentagon.
It says on bottom left.
Yes, it is, but it is legit. It is real.
This GIF is real.
Oh, but look, see, here's the crazy thing about it. It's the way that it's kind of rotating, right?
Yeah.
The shape of it and everything. It's very weird. Now, the thing is, and I want to be very clear, this entire thing could just be how do you say it? It could
Bullshit.
be. No, I was gonna say. Well, it's from the fucking Pentagon, dude.
The Pentagon released a GIF.
Here we go.
I'm fucking with him. He's not having it.
Okay, there you go. So there you go. The whole fucking video, right?
Mhm.
So they're sitting there saying, like, it. Now, look, man, it could be experimental tech and everything, but you got these people, these pilots, and they're watching this shit and they're going, this doesn't make any sense because the way that the shit's moving, it's rotating in the fucking air as it's flying. And it's not like there's 120 mile per hour wind, and it's just rotating and spinning around as it's moving. That's like, dude, it's either very, very yeah. I like this one. Hold on. That might be Elon Musk playing a joke on the U.S. with his billions.
Yeah.
It actually could be. That's the thing, right? It could be legitimately just very, very high tech military equipment. And it could be from another country. That's the thing. It doesn't need to be from the United States, but it defies their it defies our logic, right? It doesn't make sense. What is it? Could it be a glitch or something? Well, I mean, look at it, right? The Pentagon's releasing it, and it's like, what is it, right? Yeah, it's Tony Stark. It's Tony Stark, guys.
It's a drone. It's a new drone coming out. It gets the whole retrospect and everything.
It could be. That's the thing. We don't actually know what it is, right? But the way that it moves, it does not move like a drone moves. It does not move like an aircraft moves. And they're talking about how there's a whole fleet of them out there. It makes you wonder, right? It does. And that's the thing. There's too much information available to the public where something like this gets out there, it gets leaked, and immediately people are spinning around with a bunch of different conspiracies about it.
Yeah.
Could it be real? Could this be proof of aliens? I don't know. I don't think that you could say that just based on this video, that is 100% proof of alien beings being out there.
We need a Ruben Langdon for this one.
We do. Yeah. We need Ruben. But there's been plenty of times where if you go through these stories, a lot of the times this is with Navy pilots, right? Because they're the ones out there in the air and they're catching this shit on their cameras. They're catching it on their radars, and it does not fit. It doesn't make sense with anything that they know. So what's the first explanation? Well, it's an unidentified flying object. Now, again, unidentified flying object, UFO, does not specifically mean alien.
Yeah.
But this is fucking crazy. It is. Or is checking his glasses.
Yeah, for real.
Sure
I can't see you. Or your point, so you should make one.
Well, look, there's no real... Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Look, there's no real point to make here. It's just, it's very cool to see something like this get released from the Pentagon. And to me, Pentagon's very secretive and everything. If they're releasing this, it to me that would mean that it's not our military tech.
Yeah.
Because that's something they would keep on wraps no matter what. So it's either this is from a different nation, it's somebody in the private industry, private sector that has created something brand new that they've never released and never went to the military with, or it's legitimately not from fucking Earth. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, it's an alien. It's a Neptunian.
Neptunian. Just from the seas.
Yes. Neptunian.
Yeah, there's another one that I found, although this one I don't really believe so much. Let me see. It's basically like photos of these objects going into a volcano. Let me just play it here for you guys. This one, I don't like this one as much, only because, whatever. It could literally be anything. I think the problem is that it is so easy to get information these days that, you see this, UFO come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just go ahead and say, well, that's not confirmed. It's whatever. You get a bunch of randos talking about spreading in the newspaper, and that's it. You just don't know what it is. And it's creepy. Oh, give me one quick second, guys. Hold on.
What is this? What has he just done?
I don't know.
Oh boy, that's not good. John, what song do you think an alien would listen to when he landed on Earth? I feel like it's a Weemo Way. Well, whatever.
I just got abducted. I'm
the
sorry.
The cat's in the cradle.
I thought you were gonna put on a tin foil hat. Like, I swear, I thought you just come back. All right, guys, I'm ready to go.
No,
I think they would listen to Cats in the Cradle.
Here, I just wanted to show this. Hold on.
You wanted it to be a surprise?
No, nothing like that. Don't worry.
I'm gonna send you a link in the chat.
Here,
after you're done.
Okay. UFO sighting, spaceship seen entering Mexican volcano, which is used as an alien city. This is from April 28th. This video is pretty cool, but I don't think it's as interesting as the. So to me, I thought that was a shooting star, but the direction doesn't make any sense.
I see.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's if you look around, you spend enough time on it, you'll find some shit that is real, right? You also find some stuff that's clearly fake. But there is more and more of this stuff that is real, that is being released by governments and stuff, and they can't explain it. We can't explain it. Nobody's taking credit for whatever the fuck it is. And it makes you think that, are we seeing things like, yeah, you can secondhand see another one. Are we actually seeing what could be alien life exploring our fucking planet? Yeah, I was having this conversation with John, and I was like, look, yeah, let's say they're real, right? To me, I don't see any reason why they would I don't believe in the whole abducting people. We're talking. What was it? Star Wars or Star Trek First Content or First Content, First Contact. We're so underdeveloped, right? In terms of the ability to travel through space, to visit different planets, we can't really go that far. If we are being visited, I mean, it's more than likely that we would be visited by things that are way more advanced than we are and that want to just observe us in our natural habitat and document, because that's the best way of actually observing a different species. It's not to pull it out. It's not to dissect it and probe it and shit. It's watch it from a distance. And obviously, if that shit's real, I mean, then they have the technology to do shit that we just cannot do, that moves in the ways that our fucking spacecrafts cannot do. Our aerial crafts cannot do this shit. So to me, all that stuff is legitimately interesting, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's Dave Marks, interdimensional demons. It's what the ancient book says. It's what all the wise men said. I mean, it's like I said, I believe in the possibility of the stuff, even though I don't necessarily believe in little green men. I mean, I believe it's possible that they could exist. And there's more and more of this stuff that's coming up that that the government's just being like, yeah, we don't know what it is.
Oh, click that link.
Oh, why? Why? You're gonna get us fucking clipped again.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. Lionsgate is active? No, that's not anime.
That's from a movie.
Yes, it is. No, it's real fucking government footage.
Fuck you.
It's real government footage. Like that's it.
I'm not playing a clip from a fucking movie. Dude, I got a stream.
Hold on.
No. I got my stream taken down. Remember the zombie stream? They removed it for copyright infringement for that little clip I played from Scooby-Doo Zombie Island.
That's Hanna-Barbera. Turn the sound off.
I'm not doing it.
Deny government footage. This is real evidence that there is something out there.
Fuck you. It's fucking signs.
Denying everybody. You're just a non-believer. You're just a non-fucking believer.
Look, okay, so again, I'm not when I say I believe in aliens, I don't believe in a specific species. I don't believe that I know where they come from and all this other shit. I believe that there are things out there that we cannot fucking explain and that clearly have some sort of technology that baffles us. And it'd be really cool to figure out what that is. Now, I guess one of the main reasons why I say that I'm skeptical to think that our government in any way would be involved in covering up aliens is Donald Trump is the president. I'm just saying, man, if aliens were real and this bitch had evidence of it, he would be screaming about it. He would be telling everybody. He don't fucking care.
It was that video I just sent you. That's Donald
Fuck
Trump.
you.
Donald Trump found it with his little fucking hand. He had his cell phone. He went to a Spanish boy's birthday party.
Hold on. We'll link some real stuff right here. Hold on. Let me put it. Let me put it right here for you, Crow. So you could. We'll get into the real stuff. Here we go.
That'd be great.
I swear to God, if this is another movie clip. Hold on.
It's me at my birthday party hitting the piñata.
I'm checking this shit.
It's real footage. I'm checking it. I'm proof checking it.
Oh, dude, you guys are mean.
What?
It's like he gave me Bigfoot clips.
Is it from a movie?
Hey, a real Bigfoot clip from back in like the 60s.
Real Bigfoot clip. Hold on. I'll fucking watch it. Fuck it.
Patterson.
Watch you get clipped for that. If you get clipped for that, fuck you. I was just saying.
The Patterson Bigfoot footage.
I have it muted just in case.
The one that unequivocally proved that Bigfoot was real.
This shit is so. The fuck is this shit? Where's the Bigfoot?
It's at the very end. You have to go through to the very end. That's the Patterson Bigfoot footage that somebody tried to put it through Vegas Pro to clear it up a little bit more, but it seems like they made it worse.
Is that it right there? Is that him right there?
I think so.
You see him walking by. You'll see him walking by.
Yeah, I see him walking by.
There he is.
There he is.
He's real.
Slow down the speed.
He's
Slow down the
real.
speed. Bro, that looks like my uncle. Oh my God. That looks like my
He's
uncle
real.
Jesus.
Look at him just walking.
It looks like a dude in a gorilla suit.
It is a guy in a gorilla suit. It's fake. But that's the thing, though. For years.
Are there any videos of the chupacabra just like, smoking a cigar?
Nah.
Oh, hold on. Chupacabra?
Yeah.
Chupacabra.
That movie that I sent you the clip to the real found footage from Donald Trump. That came out right when the chupacabra scare was happening.
Man claims to have seen Chupacabra. No. I need like an image of the chupacabra. Oh, okay, I got it. Real.
All right.
What wasn't the fucking last time that it was a chupacabra? It was like a fucking coyote with mange or something.
It was like it was a hybrid of something.
Oh my gosh, I love this. This is from Slate 9 years ago. Al Chupacabra debunked. New evidence suggests legendary beast isn't real. What the fuck do you mean?
I have to tag out, guys. I'll see if I can try to come back on though.
We'll probably be ending this pretty soon.
We're wrapping up.
right,
Now we're all over the fucking place. We should stop looking for
We are.
chupacabra evidence.
Well,
Okay.
and I will bid you all a good night. Good night to the chat.
Good night, buddy.
Thank you for having me on. And we'll do it again soon sometime.
All right, buddy.
Adios.
Good
VP
night.
signing out.
Wiggle your toes. All right. Look, I think that the I think that footage from the Pentagon is really cool. Does it prove anything? Absolutely not. It really doesn't. Our government's fucking weird too. For all we know, they fucking are displaying technology that they fucking own, and they're just trying to screw around with another nation and freak them out.
I'm gonna edit that fucking found footage Pentagon thing of some guy just
sitting.
He's sitting on the fucking thing, twirling around like, whoa, and it fucking disappears and shit. Look at what the Pentagon found.
Dude, freaking counters. Look that shit up. If not now, on your own time. Seriously, it's awesome. What do you mean?
I've seen that. I've seen them.
It is? It's cool.
Yeah, save that for later. Because we'll be here forever. You're going to get into it.
I probably will. Okay, fine. Freaking counters werewolf.
See?
Freaking counters Mothman. Okay, I'll stop.
That's what I'm saying. Save that for later.
I'll be in. We'll do that like on a fun stream. Maybe on next Wednesday. But look, I think that it's possible that alien life exists. I mean, there's clearly shit that we just cannot explain. There's stuff that our technology does not give us the knowledge that we wish we had. Maybe in a few years, we'll find out that shit was like a fucking natural phenomenon.
It's a drone.
Or it could be just a regular fucking drone. Now, I don't know, because they're saying it's 120 mile per hour winds, which is pretty strong for a drone to be flying around in.
That's why it goes round and round.
I mean, but it's weird. It's just like kind of floating there, and then it rotates once. I go like, okay. So look, I like what Parrot Head says. If aliens do exist, who says they'd be friendly to us? I don't think they would. I think they'd look at us and go, "These bitches are insane. Let's just wipe them out and see what happens next."
Has anyone seen Mars Attacks, where the aliens like trolled everybody into pretending to be friendly? So they like invited them over and they just killed everyone in one swoop. Like fucking they killed the embassy and everything, like everybody.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fucking hilarious.
Look, remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember. Dude, you remember the fucking Chihuahua?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, that was creepy.
Chihuahua.
That was creepy.
That movie was so bad. That was a bad movie.
It's a good movie in the terms of like it's kind of a classic.
Cult classic.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie though.
It is a cult classic though. It's entertaining. It is kind of entertaining.
Jack Nicholson was the fucking villain.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna end the stream here. Clearly, I have not convinced Origami of the proof of alien life.
Should have shown found footage.
No, I'm not fucking playing the Signs movie, the movie Signs, and getting this fucking stream taken down.
To the end of it, anyway.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning into another stream. Kyle Jordan Gaming, Soge01, Parrot Head. We had Sakura in here. We had RZR in here. Dave Marks, who's almost always a part of our chat. We have Origami in the chat as well. Thank you, Or, for bumping our stream up. Who else do we have? Kayla May. We had Smiles the
Crow.
cat. We had Mama
Smiley
Crow for
cat.
a little bit. Although she probably heard the fucking aliens chat and just said fuck it. And J-Man the Dual Blade. I know there are some people who were in here earlier. I'm sorry if I didn't get your names for the final good night thank yous.
Read out the
but hope-
Patreons. You forget to do that all the time.
I forget to do it all the time. See, but now I have you.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's yawning.
Yeah, because it's past 1 a.m.
It is? I got to go to work tomorrow. Doing a horrible
I know.
job today. What? I'm being honest. All right, let's see.
Fine.
Open the link in the email to continue. What? I can't see my Patreon. Hold on.
You got kicked out of Patreon.
No, I have to verify
They've reported you.
It's the aliens, man.
You exposed us, you asswipe.
Oh my gosh, no.
I should have worn the tinfoil fucking hat. I know.
Oh, you know what? I got some new patrons. Let's see here. $1 by Maria, $1 by Origami, $6 whole by Lady Titania, and a whole $1 by Ziori Returns. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Any little bit does always help. If you guys want to be patrons, our Patreon is in the description. Kyle Jordan Gaming is our Patreon daddy because he always promotes our Patreon. Hold on. I bet your new patron was convinced by Bill the Samurai shout out. Yes. Although I prefer Kyle the Ronin. They found out Crow's a conservative. Ooh, don't tell them that. You'll get my fucking channel taken down, sir. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again. Yes. Now there are 2 crows on the Crows of Judgment. If there's any stories you would like us to cover in videos, anything you want to see us talk about during streams, obviously we're working on the Jim Soroka deep dive. That video should be dropping either at the end of this week or next week. There's a whole ton of content there. But feel free to tag myself or Origami on Twitter. Or leave a comment on any of our videos with what you'd like to see us cover, and we'll hop right on it. And that is it. We're going to be tuning out tonight. So thank you so much, and thank you again, Toy Bounty Hunters, for being a part of the stream.
Shout out to Steve DeLive, too, for helping with that D-dive.
Yes. Oh, he's going to get tons of credit on the deep dive. All right, let's go. Good night. Aliens are coming.
Adios.